Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing our review on The Creator. So, The Creator is the latest original sci-fi action blockbuster, and it's directed by Gareth Edwards, the same director as Monster, Godzilla 2014, and Rogue One: Star Wars Story. Yet he hasn't made a film since Rogue One, and it stars John David Washington, Madeline Yuna Voiles, Gemma Chan, Ken Watanabe, Alison Janney, Ralph Ineson, etc. And the plot for The Creator tells a story taking place in a distant future where humans and AI are at war. And Joshua, the lead character, played by John David Washington, has lost, or quote unquote lost, his wife Maya, played by Gemma Chan, during the war. And Joshua is desperate to find Maya, but in order for him to get Maya back, the government forgot the name, but the government had a specific name. I forgot what it was. I know there's a name, but if you guys know the name of the guys who recruit Joshua and turns out to be the bad guys, well, let me know that in the comments. Yeah, these guys, the special operatives, no, not really government, but more special operatives. Like, maybe not government, since they're technically a private organization, so I can't call them the government. Okay, they recruit Joshua to stop AI, to stop the AI, and also find the weapon that these the special operatives heads have created. But turns out the weapon, the AI weapon, is actually took the form of a child played by Alfie, which was given the name by Joshua. And so, believing that Alfie can actually lead to Joshua being able to find Maya, he gets the help of Alfie to get Maya back. And also, during this mission, he finds out that humans have created this big spatial thingy that would eradicate AI, because the same special operator that I just mentioned wants AI to go extinct. So yeah, so he must be able to stop them. So yeah, that's all. So yeah, I think we're all aware that Hollywood has been lacking in original films lately. Yeah, people would be like, oh, modern Hollywood, all they do is sequels and remakes and movies based on IP. They don't do original films anymore. Although that is semi-true, but at the same time, Hollywood does original films. The problem is that the people just don't go see them, because original films, they're not usually well marketed, and they wouldn't really convince people to hear about them. And so as a result, the original movie would be flopped and forgotten about, because of how poorly marketed, like not poorly but barely even marketed they are. They're like, people just don't seem to acknowledge their existence. The type of movies that most people will want to watch are blockbusters, like big spectacle blockbusters. That's the kind of movies that most general audiences are there for. But most of those types of movies are rather sequels and remakes. Now, don't get me wrong, as much as I sound like I'm complaining about Hollywood doing sequels and movies based on popular IP, I actually don't hate them. I actually have nothing against the sequels. In fact, I personally defend sequels. I may do a video essay one day on why I think sequels aren't as bad as everyone else makes it out to be, and why sequels shouldn't be seen as the plagues of Hollywood. And also movies based on popular IPs, like Barbie, for example. You can actually tell an original story with that. Like, Barbie was able to tell an original story based on Barbie the toy. And even Lego Movie, a movie based on a toy that no one wanted to see. I mean, it was able to tell an original story. So yeah, so I have nothing against that. But we definitely do need an original movie. And I mean original movies that actually has me personally sold. Because there are some original movies that I just, that doesn't really sell to me and I'll just forget about it. But then came The Creator. Yeah, the moment the trailer dropped online, I saw the trailer out of curiosity and I was freaking blown away by the trailer. I was like, holy crap, this movie looks amazing. I was blown away by that trailer, and it looked like the movie we need right now. Like, as much as Hollywood that has have had its sequels and IPs and fair share of them, we definitely need a movie like this, a movie that's original but still having the modern action sci-fi blockbustery kind of feel. But this movie isn't really based on a popular IP. It's not a sequel. It's not a franchise movie. It's a standalone story, and that's what we needed. And so after I saw the trailer, this was in my most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. It always has been ever since because I've always been excited for it. But ever since I saw the trailer, and I mean I never lowered my expectations for it. Like I've always been hyped for it ever since, and yeah, and this is also from the director of Gareth Edwards, who I think is a very underappreciated director. One movie that Gareth Edwards did that I have yet to see is Monster, which I think is his first film. I will watch Monster eventually, maybe maybe a day before I rewatch Godzilla 2014 as part of my MonsterVerse reviews leading up to the upcoming Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire this April. Yeah, so I will definitely do that for sure. And speaking of Godzilla 2014, yeah, that was the first Gareth Edwards movie I saw, and I don't like it. I think if you know me so well, you probably know that I don't like Godzilla 2014. In fact, I think it's one of the most overrated movies I've ever seen. I actually forgot to include that in my top 10 movies I dislike that everyone else likes in that list. Yeah, but if I were to update that list as of now, don't know if I'll read the list, but if I were to update it as of now, I'd include Godzilla 2014 and Rocky Balboa 2006 on that list. But Godzilla 2014 is definitely like a top 5 movies I dislike that everyone else likes. And I know like that movie has a huge fan base. There are some people who say that it is the best MonsterVerse movie. Some even going as far as calling it the only good MonsterVerse movie. But to me, I just don't like it that much. I'll explain why. I'll explain why I don't like it in my initial review. I'll say my full thoughts in my review. But I'll just say the Bryan Cranston parts are amazing, and so is the minimum Godzilla parts, but everything else, bleh. But then 2 years later, 2 years after Godzilla 2014, Gareth Edwards made the Rogue One Star Story, which is in my top 5 favorite Star Wars movies of all time. I absolutely love Rogue One. I think it is a masterpiece, and there's this YouTuber named Griffin Schiller, aka FilmSpeak, who made a brilliant analysis on Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Yeah, definitely go check it out. But after Rogue One, I haven't seen Gareth Edwards like around for a while. Like I don't know where he was, what he was doing, but turns out he was working on what he considers his passion project, The Creator. And yeah, I'm actually surprised with The Creator. Despite this movie getting a lot of hype, I'm surprised by the mixed reviews, the mixed divisive reception that this movie is receiving. Yeah, sadly, I actually only saw it now. I wish I saw it in the first week, but technically, while it did come on September in my country, no, September in the US. In my country, it came out just this week, like last Wednesday. So it's technically an October movie, but yeah, it sucks I had to wait 2 weeks for me to be able to watch this movie. But yeah, based on what people say, it is a pretty divisive film. There are some people who absolutely loved it and said lived up the hype. But then there are others who said it was a letdown. Yeah. But judging it for myself after watching this movie, I gotta say this movie was a masterpiece. It was absolutely fantastic and worth the wait. I love the creator. The creator, yeah. This movie is just wow. I mean, just wow, wow, wow. Whew, like, where do I even start with this? I mean, this movie is just amazing. Yeah, it was absolutely worth it. Everything this movie promised, it delivers and more. Yeah, like what I said, I don't know if I said this, but this is a movie Hollywood that needs right now. I already said it many times, but it's a big and ambitious sci-fi action blockbuster that's actually original. Yeah, an original movie, like not based on anything. And this and that, yeah, let's talk about the story now. Since this is an unoriginal movie, how is the story? How was the writing in this one? I gotta say that this is that the story of this movie needed to be told because of the current world issues we face today, particularly with AI. And you all know how the AI warriors. I mean, people have been constantly making discussions about how AI is threatening humanity, that AI is taking away humanity's creativity, and humans want to stop AI. AI wants to take back their freedom. In fact, AI is a part of the reason as to why the writer's strike is happening, and the reason as to why writers aren't being paid enough is because of AI. Because a lot of times AI is written, like AI is the one writing the movie, and so human writers wouldn't be contributing much to the writing, to the stories that they tell because of AI, and so as a result, they don't get paid, and that's how the writer's strike happened. The actor strike is something else. Although I personally think actor strike is even worse now. And I hope the actor strike stops. But yeah, I mean, like what, but well, what I'm saying is, considering the current state we live in, especially with how AI is taking over humanity's creativity and like taking away humanity, and like it's like they're trying to replace humanity. Yeah, I think we definitely need a story about AI, and I mean like this, a story about a war between humans and AI, and it's just perfect that we got a movie like this. Despite this being original, yeah, I will say that the story may remind you of other sci-fi movies like District 9, The Terminator, to an extent Star Wars. Star Wars, well, makes sense because this movie is being directed by a Star Wars director. Like a lot of other sci-fi movies you can think of. And oh yes, talking about Star Wars, my dad actually pointed out that this movie reminded him of The Mandalorian, and I think it does make sense. He actually made a good point, and I actually should have realized that because it's about this bounty hunter, this specialist working for an operative who finds this child. Alfie is basically like Grogu, and then they both the soldier and or whatever the hero and the child that go on this mission together. And yeah, I think what he said that makes sense. And also it's pretty much like Last of Us but with AI instead. Also in a way it's also kind of like The Last of Us. Last of Us but sci-fi instead of horror. But even though it may remind you it's of other movies, it's still a standalone original story at its core. Because you can tell that they weren't intending to copy other movies. It's more of a coincidence that the movie would remind you of other movies. But at its core, yes, it's still an original story. It's still, at least it's trying to tell an original story. original story. And I think the story is just well explored. I mean, the humanity of AI, and the fact that even though this whole movie may be about the war between AI and human, both humans and AI can coexist together. Like as you see, like the very strong chemistry between Joshua and Alfie, like human and AI, their chemistry together, it feels so real. It feels so real, and I think that's actually what makes the story really good to me. Like overall, like despite it being familiar, the execution works because um, because everything feels believable. Like the story, like you really feel the characters. You really care about them on their journey, and you actually care about this world. I mean, the world building is amazing. This future where basically it's in this futuristic world where like it feels like it's gone extinct, and now it's like like half the population is pretty much less humans and a little more AI people, and and the new systems and all that stuff. I think the world, like it really gets you invested in this world, this very unique setting, and I should add as well that this movie has real emotions to it. This movie has real emotions to it. Yeah, it is actually emotional. Like how how can a movie with a human and an AI together actually make me feel something? The AI like feels more human than some other characters who I don't want to bother mentioning, but I'm gonna give a hint on who I'm thinking about. My God, this AI Alfie, she just feels human, yeah, and that's feels human, and yeah, I mean the movie has a lot of heart to it, a lot of emotion. Like there's a lot of philosophical ideas about AI and ideas about AI, and it's just all there, man. Gareth Edwards was just a genius in making this. The performances were absolutely excellent, especially with John David Washington, Gemma Chan, and newcomer Madeline Yuna Voiles. Yuna Voiles. Honestly, I think my personal favorite performance would be a Gemma Chan. Would be a Gemma Chan. I'm a huge Gemma Chan fan, and she was actually the character I was most excited to see going to this one. I mean, I love her in Eternals, but I think this might be her best performance yet. Despite Gemma Chan having a very limited screen time, since most of the time, since she's technically quote unquote dead. Well, you'd see her a lot in a lot of flashbacks scenes. I mean, Gemma Chan is able to make use of the limited screen time she had and give such a very powerful and emotional performance in both the beginning and the end scenes where Alfie brought Gemma Chan back to life. But Maya back to life, and yeah, love her. I don't know if I want to call Maya my favorite character in the film, but considering like she only had like less than 5 minutes of screen time, maybe even 2 minutes, I don't know. Like my gut wants her to call it, but my brain says no. She's not really the best character because of her limited screen time. Maybe if she had more screen time, maybe she would have been the best character. Yeah. John David Washington. I mean, this guy has been crushing it recently with films like Black Klansman, which is my introduction to that after Tenet, Amsterdam, which I still defend both movies mentioned, both Tenet and Amsterdam. And there's another movie, I forgot what it was. I don't know, just can't really think of most other things besides the creator right now. But this might be my personal favorite John David Washington movie. I still think Tenet is the best John movie with John David Washington, but when it comes to performance wise, I think this is John David Washington at his absolute best. Just and And Joshua might be one of my favorite male characters of the year. I just absolutely love his character. Love his character is, and he's just such a worthy male character. Oh yeah, and also the other characters as well. Colonel Gene Howell, who is I think the main villain of the movie, like great villain, and she's really unlikable. Like Alison Janney gave such a great villain performance, and you really hate the Colonel because like she really feels believable as a hateable character. And then there is the return of Ken Watanabe. I have not seen him in a film since Godzilla King of the Monsters. I didn't even see him in Godzilla versus Kong, which makes sense because he died. He was his character was killed off in King of the Monsters. But ever since 2019 with King of the Monsters, I have not seen him in a movie ever since. And so I'm glad to see like he's doing a movie again. And he was great in it. One of his better performances. I don't think it's his best performance. That would be still be Inception. But this one, like up right up there, is one of his best performances. But the stand-up performance, but my personal favorite character in the movie has to be Alfie. Yeah, I absolutely love Alfie. Yeah, she's just such a like she's basically the heart and soul of the movie, and you really care about her. She's like basically the main AI character, and just like Grogu and Ellie, she has this very similar, has this very unique abilities that basically she has the power to control electricity and turn on and off the lights and she actually uses it responsibly and yeah. Madeline Yuna Voiles is gonna be a true star one day. Yeah, she's gonna be a real star. I can guarantee that. And yeah, I just love Alfie. I think she has the strongest character development out of all of them. Yeah, despite being a little similar to Grogu, Grogu, Laura from Logan, and Ellie, and I'll admit that she's not as good as either of those characters. I still love Alfie. I think she's as good as them. If I had to rank those four characters that are very similar, if I had to rank the four characters I mentioned, I would say number one is Ellie. I think Ellie's the best of the four. Number two is Grogu. Number three is Laura. Even though Logan is a better project than Mandalorian, and Alfie's the weakest of the four, but I still love. But yeah, I still love her. Love her. And the action scenes, man. The action scenes in this movie are excellent. They're very intense. There was much more action than I was expecting, actually. Because going to this movie, despite I was always high for it, I will admit that I was thinking that there's gonna be very few action and it was gonna be more focused on the world building and the storytelling. But I'm surprised. There's actually like enough action scenes for the kind of movie that this is. This and the kind of story they're trying to tell. I think there was enough action scenes. The action scenes, yeah, much more than I was expecting. Yeah, just don't go in expecting that there will be a lot of action, and then maybe you'd feel like there was enough action scenes. Otherwise, if you're expecting, oh, there's gonna be an action-packed movie, then you'll be disappointed. I'll just say, yeah, there's quite a lot, and can we talk about the visuals? Like, oh my goodness, the visuals. For an $80 million budget, like yes, this movie cost $80 million. I gotta say, this actually has the best visual effects of the year so far, in my opinion. Now I know people would say that Oppenheimer is the most visually stunning movie of the year, and I'm pretty sure Oppenheimer will win Best Visual Effects without Dune Part 2. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if it wasn't for Dune Part 2, Dune Part 2 would have been the best visual effects of the year if only it didn't get delayed. But without Dune Part 2, I think the creator is already a high contender to win the Frozen Award for best visual effects. Because my god, the visuals in this movie, like, jaw-droppingly amazing. how did they do that? Yeah, yeah, that was that's pretty much how I react to it. How did they do that? An $80 million budget movie, and you got this just this incredible grand world, just this grand in scale, this gorgeous visual effects that actually feels finished. Yeah, and this movie is more visually stunning than most of the $200 million budget movie. Like there's been a lot of movies lately when where the $200 million budget wasn't well used. For example, The Flash. I still defend The Flash as a movie, but I can't defend those visuals. Yeah, what an embarrassment for a $200+ million budget movie, especially in comparison to an $80 million budget movie like this. Like wow, this better get a Best Visual Effects nomination at the Oscars, otherwise they're rigged. And also the score. This movie is being composed by my favorite composer of all time, Hans Zimmer, and I gotta say, he did not let me down with this one. Is this one of Hans Zimmer's best scores? Not really. There's better. I can name a lot of better Hans Zimmer scores. It's not even the best score of the year so far. Like I would still rank the Elemental, the scores in Elemental, Across the Spider-Verse, and Oppenheimer above this one, but this is definitely in my top. This will definitely get a best original score nomination at my Frozen Awards. No doubt about it. Yeah, Hans Zimmer, you did it again. And yeah, man, it's a poor shame this movie flopped hard at the box office, and even that unnecessary Paw Patrol the Mighty movie made more money than this. Yeah, and I think you already know how much I'm not excited for Paw Patrol, which is why I am not gonna waste my money on that movie. I don't know how people chose to see that unnecessary cash grab sequel over this beautiful underrated masterpiece right here. And yeah, this may go down as a hidden gem, and I think this is an underrated masterpiece. Yeah, this movie it is one of the more underrated movies of the year so far. I guarantee you, though, if you skip this movie, if you're not planning to watch this movie and just wait to watch it at home, you're gonna regret not seeing this movie in theaters. I mean, it's kind of like a Alita Battle Angel, where most people didn't see it in theaters, but then they saw it at home and they realized, holy crap, I should have saw this movie in theaters. Yeah, I mean, if they felt they felt that with Alita, they feel that with the same way with the creator. Yeah, yeah, definitely go watch the movie ASAP. Yeah. So overall, yeah, I absolutely love the creator. It's a movie that we need right now, and it's a shame that not many people are supporting this movie. In fact, my theater that was actually empty, which is sad. Like it was just me and my family to see this movie, and there's like no one else, no one. Yeah, it's just sad. It's just sad. And also, this is the second movie this year where I was the only one in the theater. Well, even though my family's there, I mean, it still counts as I'm the only one. The first time being Whitney Houston, I want to dance with somebody. So yeah, definitely go. Yeah, please go watch the movie. You still have a chance to watch it eventually. Actually, even though it's the second week, maybe the third week, you can still get a chance to watch it. Get a chance to watch it. Yeah, and comparing this with other Gareth Edwards movies, I'd say this is tied with Rogue One as his best film. I wouldn't want to call this better than Rogue One. It is a better made film than Rogue One, but Rogue One's just more fun and has better characters. But yeah, I'd say they're both tied. But yeah, both this and Rogue One. But I would say that this puts Godzilla 2014 to shame. How come this movie? I understand why Rogue One has a higher Rotten Tomatoes score than this, but how come this movie's Rotten Tomatoes score is lower than Godzilla 2014? I will not understand that. But yeah, so that said, I give the creator 5 stars out of 5. Masterpiece movie. So that's all for my review of the creator. What is your opinion of this movie? Um, like, did you love the creator as much as I did, or were you underwhelmed by this movie? And if you haven't seen this movie yet, did my review convince you to go check out this movie? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review of Beetlejuice, which is the first review for this year's Halloween review marathon. And also stay tuned for my quick movie review series for the recent horror movies that came out. So yeah, I'm gonna put all the recent horror movies in one review because I don't have much to say about them. So yeah, bye guys.